What can you say about families who are maltreating the au pairs?
I think nobody should be maltreated. I don't think that's not a part of the program, and that's not a part of being a human being at all. I think it's someone who does not understand the social rules of being a human being.
Hi guys, today we're going to talk about something with someone very special. So I'd like to welcome my host mom, and you tell them a few things about you. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Wendy's host mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in this house. I'm married to my husband.
For how long?
12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today's Gustav's birthday.
Yeah. Our eldest boy's birthday. He turns 12 today. We have 3 boys, aged 12, 10 and almost 4.
Your profession?
I'm a medical doctor.
Medical doctor in psychiatric department, right?
Child psychiatry.
Yeah. Okay, so just very pretty, right? So I have here questions gathered from my friends mostly. I'm so shy, but let's do it. Okay, what can you say about this au pair program?
Well, when you're first au pair, so I don't have that much experience in the program, but the program is a cultural exchange where families can have an au pair from a foreign country coming and helping during daily life in exchange of cultural experiences. Being part of a family in a foreign country.
Did it help to have an au pair?
Of course, it's a big help. Yeah, it's a help in many ways. I think the most treasured thing in our life is time.
Yes.
And since we are both full-time workers, we cannot have as much time at home with our kids as we would like to. So having help with these extra courses gives us extra time.
Have you ever felt your privacy has been invaded by having an au pair?
No.
I think Europeans are very welcoming. I don't know.
I don't know. I think once you're inside the house, I think they're very welcoming. I think they can be a little hard to get close to from a distance.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, our privacy has never been invaded. I don't think so.
What do you like most about your au pair?
That's a difficult question. There's a lot of things that we like about you, Wendy, but I think in general, having an au pair, it's important to have someone that you trust, and someone that you can rely on, and someone who's independent, also having a mind of her or your own.
Yeah,
like
initiative.
Also initiative, but also being able to see what needs to be done, what could be practical, what is nice in this case. And also the flexibility. I think it's important that you can. That goes both ways. That you can arrange things. That it's not like. It's not considered it's not considered a scheduled job from 8 till this and 8 till this. I think it's very important that you have this flexibility, but it also demands something from the au pair, that if you have to think yourself and have to be able to say, okay, maybe this is not important today, so I'll do this instead. Or I think we already talked about that earlier.
We did talk about it.
And I think that's a little different. It's also it's a cultural exchange too. So I think it's a little different coming from another culture where authority is really authority, instead of being on the same level and considered a person on your own. So you have to have the responsibility as well. I think that might be a little difficult.
Talking about flexibility, I think that's really one of the most, or the famous topic with au pairs. Right, and I think my point with that is that we're helping each other. You know, I am here for a reason, and I am helping you, and at the same time our host families are really helping us. So there are cases where in our scheduled or date with friends, it's not really very important. So if there's something that came up, if it's not very important, I think we can consider it. And I think that's very important because they are our families here, and
like a sister at home. If you're in your own family and you really would like to do something and the family has another point of interest, then you can talk about it. It's not like end of discussion, but sometimes it's
it's very common in the Philippines, when our sister or any member of the family has to go and they have kids, they can just leave their kids at home, and someone will look after a family member. So I think we should also consider doing that here, not just like job.
I think it's important not to consider it as a job. I don't think, but it goes both ways. Both the family and the au pair has to look at this not as a job.
Yes,
it's a cultural exchange. Yeah.
Since you have already processed your papers with the next au pair, but if ever you did not have processed it yet, what are the things you're looking for in au pair?
It's difficult to say what you are looking for because two persons are not the same, and there are many ways to solve problems and tasks and so on. But I think what I treasure a lot and would like a future au pair to contain is to be trustworthy and flexible and not too shy.
Yes.
To say what they think. I'm not asking for discussions all the time, but just also to say, what about this, and I would like to, and so on. So I think that's important to dare to open the mouth and talk about your life at home and what do you experience and what do you come from. An open dialogue, I think that's very important.
Miscommunication often starts by not talking. Many would understand that some or most of the Filipinos would really keep it to themselves rather than spitting it out or saying it. So I think that's where the problem comes from.
Yeah, it's true that if you have a good communication with a lot of things, it'll be much easier when you have hard times.
Yeah.
So an open dialogue about everyday life, I think that's...
And I think you guys here are very direct, open, you communicate, and that is one thing this program has really taught us, to open up, to just speak out, you don't have to be shy.
Yeah, but of course we know that people don't come and from day one they are like that.
Yeah,
it takes time to experience what is working and what is not working.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a friend who will encourage you to really speak out rather than keeping it to yourself. What's your opinion about the program being stopped?
I think it's being stopped for the wrong reasons. I think some people are exploiting the program, some host families are exploiting it, and I think some au pairs are exploiting it. So I think it's a mixture of misuse of a program that really helps both ways. So I think it's sad that because some people cannot deal with this, it has to be broken for a lot of persons.
Yeah.
I think it's a very nice help for us, but it's not only a help, somebody is cleaning or fetching our kids, it's also someone coming to our family and gives us a lot of things in the family that we wouldn't get.
If this program will be stopped, what will happen to the next generation? Especially those coming from the Philippines. I think this is the easiest way to come here. We need a lot of money to apply for the visa, we need bank accounts, so I think it's very hard, especially if you always dream of coming here.
Yeah, to see this part of the world.
Yeah. What can you say about families who are maltreating the au pairs?
I think nobody should be maltreated. I don't think that's not a part of the program, and that's not a part of being a human being at all. I think it's it's someone who does not understand the social rules of being a human being. I think it's indiscussable, not fair, not okay.
Not fair.
And I think there are consequences for those not treating au pairs well, because if the au pair dares to complain, then they are banned from being host families. And I think that's okay. And I think it's very clear in the manual that these and these and these things are not part of the program, and you can be banned.
But sometimes the problem is some au pairs are scared to report or file a complaint because they don't want to be sent back home. So instead they change hosts. I think that's the problem. So first, really, you have to communicate, because some would just like overthink. Okay, I'm not happy, then I change host.
Yeah.
I think
and
that
doesn't solve the problems.
Yes.
But I think sometimes you're absolutely right. Communication is the best thing. And if you're in a family that not treats you well, of course you shouldn't stay there. But but it depends on what is maltreating.
Yes.
I think when I think of maltreating, I think of somebody exploiting, doing overworking, and a lot of family sharing, and not living
like a part of the family.
Yeah, not being a part of the family, just a nanny.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think the interpretation from the au pair of what is maltreating is different. I think you have to get on the same level of what are your expectations and what are our expectations, so that you have the same platform from the beginning.
So again, it all boils back to communication, or setting expectation from the beginning. Do you have like a general advice to au pairs and host families?
A general advice: consider what are your needs, and that goes both ways. I think the family, what is the family needs? What are the needs for the au pair? What are your reasons to come? Because I also think some au pairs come to earn money. Yeah. And that is also not part of the program.
Yes.
The allowance is not a salary. It's an allowance.
And it's not that big, so you don't...
No. But you also have to consider some of the housing, the food, insurances, the welfare system in this country is included in...
That's true, because I think if you are going to... I mean, it will not be an au pair program. Like, for example, you're working with a family and you have to pay for your own rent, apartment, food. Oh my god, it's really expensive. Your allowance is not enough. I mean, even if your allowance will not be the same to what we have now, I think it's still difficult.
It's still a lot, and also just for coming here, we have a lot of expenses before the au pair comes.
There are really a lot of expenses of having an au pair.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
My host family, they have been to the Philippines last year, November, right?
December.
Yeah. So what can you say about your experience? How was it? I was with them, by the way.
Yeah, you went with us, and your boyfriend Vincent came along as well. It was a very nice trip. I think it's an exciting country, and of course you see the dark side of the country too, with all the poverty and so on. But I think it was a very nice trip, and we saw a lot of nice places, and very friendly people, and nice food, and I think it was a good experience also for our kids to see where you're from and see what part of the world you grew up in, and not everybody lives like us.
You're living here. But will you ever consider going back?
Yeah.
Yes, and when's your plan to go back?
Oh, we don't have really planned it, but we are having an au pair from the Philippines next time, so maybe when she's here. Because I think it's a nice way to travel with someone who knows the language, because evidently we don't speak
our dialect.
So I think it's a nice way of seeing a foreign country. I like that way of traveling.
It was also very advantageous for me because I was able to spend Christmas back home. I think we will have true or false. So both of us will answer the question or the statement if it's true or false. So let's see how well my host.
It's a competition.
I have never been angry with the kids. False.
I hope that you have been. Sometimes
Yes.
they really misbehave, so it's
I
fair
mean,
to be angry with them.
yeah, I think there were many times, especially when I'm babysitting them. It's like, okay, you have to say. But the good thing about them is they really stop when you're already angry. And they will really say sorry and then give you a hug. My host kids are very sweet. I have my favorite kid here. Oh, I was confused.
I think you have spent more time with our little kid, Mars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you have special moments with him that you don't have with the two older.
Yes.
Not saying that you don't like the two other kids, but I think you have a special bond with Mars.
Yes, Mars. I love veggies.
You are a meat eater.
Yes, but when I started coming here, also in Switzerland, I started eating veggies more than when I was in the Philippines. I love cake more than ice cream.
Seeing what is in the freezer once in a while, I know what you like most.
I love ice cream. I will never be successful.
You're very determined, Wendy, so you'll do well.
I hope so.
I know.
I love cooking.
You told us already from the beginning, we know that you don't love me. But you're very helpful, and that's also a big help. We cook together, mostly we
Yes.
cook and you chop, and so I think it's a very nice combination.
I think it's nice to do things together. And that's our like bonding time, little chit chat, right?
That's definitely.
Okay, I'm lazy. I think it's true.
Yeah, I think you're lazy too. But I wouldn't say lazy. I think you. No, I don't think you're lazy. I think you're like everybody else likes doing things smart.
Yes.
Yeah. What is nice to do and what is needed to do.
No one will miss me here. I think it's false.
Yeah.
I hope it's false.
It is false. We'll all miss you very much.
But let me just tell you that I'm leaving in 2 weeks, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
The best gift your host has given to you. I think it was the injection. What was that again? Oh, no,
Yeah, it's an injection against cervical cancer,
Yeah.
human papilloma virus.
which I received for Christmas. So I think that's it. Thank you so much and bye.
Bye.